You're welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Well, it looks and sounds like the entire world is waiting with bated breath. What will happen next after U.S. President Donald Trump announced that American forces had completed very successful airstrikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. The targets included uranium enrichment facilities in Natanz and in Isfahan, as well as the underground nuclear complex in Fordow. The airstrikes have provoked fears of a wider conflagration in the Middle East region. In an address from the White House, Trump said Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. The American leader warned Iran that the U.S. could go after additional targets if Tehran fails to pursue peace.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago.
Finally, it's down to the wire. Just yesterday, Adeso and I think Kachi from Abuja joined us. We were wondering for how long will the 2 weeks that President Trump gave will last, if it will be the usual 2 weeks that everybody has been talking about on the internet. But then it turned out that it's barely 2 days, and then we have the first American president, to use Adesuwa's words, that has succeeded in being baited into sort of direct confrontation with Iran. I think, of course, that this is of big concern to everybody all over the world. World leaders have been talking. America will have its allies outside of Israel, which this is all about Israel, isn't it? But of course, we've had, Keir Starmer saying that on no condition will Iran be allowed to have nuclear weapon, and that he fully supports what the American president has done. But of course, we have also heard, even within America itself, that this is as bad as it can be, and that it might even be illegal. Maybe it's something that the parliament, in America can begin to look at for the possibility of impeachment. But then, will you say that the Democrats have got
bombing Iran is
without
Congress approval?
Well,
I don't think that it is illegal. It's only illegal for him to declare war on another sovereign state.
Correct.
But he is commander. Yes, he hasn't declared war, so I don't believe this is illegal. I mean, he is commander-in-chief, and he has every authority to protect if he senses a threat. And he said that this was, a matter of national security. But I wanted to say something about Trump. I mean, this is, like you said, the first American president to be baited. He has, during the campaign trail, condemned past American presidents for, fueling what he described as stupid, endless wars in the Middle East. And then we're seeing him going full on with Israel at this moment. And as you recall, this was a surprise attack. It just started June 13th. Israel decided to bomb Iran without any sort of aggression from Iran. Iran has consistently maintained that they do not have a nuclear weapon. I mean, they have capabilities to produce a nuclear bomb, but obviously they have consistently maintained that they do not have a nuclear bomb. But we have seen Benjamin Netanyahu for the past, 28 years, 40 years, consistently talking about the fact that Iran is producing a nuclear bomb. Death of America, just weeks away. You've seen that video, always just weeks away. Yes. But it has not happened. I mean, this is such a severe attack. I mean, I think it's an assault to the world at this point, and what these two nations are doing. I'm talking about the United States and Israel going against Iran in the manner that they have done. I mean, obviously, we now know that these sites that have been bombed have been significantly, Iran has been significantly weakened by this sort of attack. That's what they claim. But obviously, there's been U.S. intelligence there going around and knowing these facilities that these nuclear materials have been produced.
Definitely, the three sites, particularly Fordo, which we needed the bunker busting bombs for. But very importantly, Iran has said that, they have not said that they've suffered the significant losses that Trump has claimed. And if everyone, but if everyone remembers also when George W. Bush took America into Iraq in 2003, he had a celebration on a ship. He already thought that we have succeeded very early on, and it shows American hubris, I would say. For Trump to throw bombs on 3 different sites in a sovereign country and come out and say, okay, it's time for peace, I think it shows the American hubris and neo-colonial mind view that you can bomb somebody and say, okay, now it's time for peace. And oftentimes, American pundits start America and Iran's relationship or their history with Iran taking American hostages. But we all know that America toppled a democratically elected government in Iran. They toppled a leader and then supported the Shah. Yes, and also very importantly, history has taught us these lessons before. Israel bombed Iraq in 1981, Operation Opera, and said they're bombing them so they can reduce their nuclear weapon capabilities. Saddam Hussein, who had even been supported by America in the past, against the same Iran. And what did Saddam do? He took those programs underground and he continued. That's what led to we had the invasion of Kuwait, then we had the American invasion of Iraq. These wars beget wars. A bomb, you don't drop a bomb to end. And for me, what is very painful is that who is going to suffer the consequences? Is it the Iranian people who have been surviving under an oppressive regime? Or is it the poor American boys and girls who are taken into their military? 40,000 American troops are currently in the Middle East, and a lot of those are people who grew up poor and get recruited into the military for their own survival, are those the people who are going to pay the price for this? Because I've been watching videos of members of the National Guard, members of America's military, even having to go to immigration centers, protecting their parents or their family members who are being deported.
Yes, I mean, will there be retaliation? Iran has said that there will be. They intend to bomb
in some form.
Everlasting consequences,
right.
they said.
I mean, in the very instance, the very moment, they have said that they are going to bomb U.S. facilities in Iran. So obviously, I mean, who suffers? Like you said,
I totally align with what Adesua said.
The people
because
on
at the
ground.
at the end of it all, it comes down to the American DNA when it comes to international relations. You know, and there are countless examples. You know, not just Iraq. You know, Libya is there. We know what has happened to Libya and Gaddafi when America and NATO.
And even we are dealing with the consequences here in Nigeria.
Everybody's dealing with the consequences. But let's see how far America can go, you know, with this one with Israel. Let's see if Iran will put up a surprise and say, okay, all right, let's negotiate. Or maybe Iran will say never, you know, not on your life. But we'll see. What will be most important will be how Nigerian government deals with the spike in the oil prices expectedly and see whether Nigeria can at least benefit.
And with our citizens that are still in Iran and Israel.
In Iran, absolutely.